Hey, good morning, loves. So, what I think today is going to be the start of for me is the day of completely quitting weed and everything. I might do a couple shots here and there, but for the most part, I'm not going to do anything anymore. I mean, I love smoking weed, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but life has just been too stressful, and you know what? I think I'm better off without it, even in a weed legal state. It's just not worth it at this point. So, personally, I feel like my life needs a little adjusting. As most of you have seen, I've done some fleeting videos, the random 4 people that get to see the videos before they're gone, of the fighting between me and my sibling that stays with me. Now, I don't keep the videos up, one, because it's his personal business, having shit, broadcasted of what he's actually doing, and that's not fair to him. So I delete them out of, respect and privacy. As well as, I don't always sound that great. I don't think I'm as bad as I could be, but I don't always sound that great. So, I don't want to portray myself in a bad manner either, because who does? However, when it comes to the relationship me and him have, it's very toxic, even as a family member, which is hard. It's a hard situation because when your family is toxic to you, and you get blamed for their life choices and they choose to be a certain way, it's hard to let them go, and it's hard to let yourself feel okay with it, because I'm in one of those. I don't like my car doors being slammed. I don't want you punching my door. The animals. I don't want to see you beating up your dog because she's misbehaving and not listening or trying to run away from you at the door, especially at 6:30 in the morning, like we just got up. And obviously will cause, arguments. Of course it will, with anybody. It's 6:30 in the morning, like, I haven't really woken up yet. Can you please not yell? Hey, be calm. Go for a walk. Don't react to your dog yet. Having to lock the doors because you're outside yelling. And I don't think it's an appropriate thing to do. Like, of course I'm going to do that. And, I don't feel like it's necessarily a bad thing. Now, when it comes to allowing someone back in your life, like I do all the time, and you unlock the doors and you let them come in, either metaphorically or physically, you have to be careful, because I do that a lot, like especially with him. I open those doors back up, and it's more or less because you're family. I love you. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. Winter's coming. It's cold. I'm not going to be that rude. Even if I feel like you deserve that, I'm not going to do that. And then, obviously I have my impulses where I scream and I say, get out of my car. And it's usually when, one, I'm being threatened that you're going to kill me, strangle me to death. They'll never find you. Oh, call the cops. I'll beat your ass before they get here. Throwing my stuff out of the car, being very disrespectful, wasteful, wasting food or weed or other things that I buy because you think you can, pretty much telling me who the F do I think I am, and I'm greedy, all that stuff. Of course, it bundles up into this tight little ball. And of course I'm going to explode. I don't want to hear that. I worked very hard to try to support us on what we have. And it's hard. It's hard. I haven't been able to find a job I can stand, that I don't overstress and then break down and quit within 4 months, because that's what always happens. My brain can't comprehend the stress of being around a whole bunch of people anymore, even on just a couple people. Repetitive noises, even the dog whining like this, it will steer my gears and make me really uneasy. It make me really shaky, and that's hard to do when dealing in a customer service position or dealing with customers at all. It's hard because you don't process how to take that stress away from you and not carry it throughout the day, and then I end up breaking down, and it's a mix of the PTSD and the borderline, for sure, and that makes it hard. So when I'm dealing with things like that in my personal life, and then go and try to find a job, like, it's even 10 times harder. So I honestly think it's hard if you're dealing with someone who's toxic in your life. It's hard to get them out of it. And even now, he just left again, and I know most of you are like, oh, whatever, it's in and out, in and out, in and out. You guys forgive and forgive. You fight and forgive, fight and forgive, fight and forgive. Yeah, you're right. We do. And I think a lot of that comes from being siblings, being family, opening your heart up and saying, hey, it's cold, come back, I'm sorry, it's okay. And even when I don't feel like I have something to say sorry for, I'm normally the one saying sorry because I'm putting that white flag up. Hey, just like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's too much. Like, just come in, be safe, don't start a scene. We don't need that. And in the end, there always ends up being a scene. Like, I'm a very calm person. I'm very nice, but I'm crazy. And when I'm pushed and certain things are said and those grinds start going, like I talked about, I am very impulsive and I will yell and I will tell you to get away from me. Go away. Get out of my car. I don't care. And if you tell me that I don't care, well, I mean, do you expect someone to not start acting like they don't care? When you say it 100 times, I mean, it's kind of just balanced what you say. Most likely you're going to get that reaction. And it's the same way where, like, my brother just left and he punched the side of the car because he was mad at Daisy, and I locked the door and wouldn't let him come in because I don't think it's appropriate to punch your dog, hit your dog in a certain manner. And I don't want to see it, especially if it's just because she's not laying down. She's hyper, she's not listening, she's not letting you put the harness on right. Like, I get it, it's irritating, but there's a line. So when I locked the doors, it was more or less to prevent what he had done to the car in his hand from happening to the dog. And his hand's bleeding, and it still is. And I gave him wet wipes and told him to wrap up with toilet paper, but of course it's still bleeding. And during all of this, he's packing his stuff because he's continuing to yell at me about how he's going to kill me and blah, blah, blah. And, excuse me, it's still way too early, but one of my responses, and I'm a Virgo, and maybe it's where the criticism comes in, and he's a Libra, but maybe where the impulsive double-sidedness comes in. But he's complaining that his hand's bleeding, and he's mad at the dog. It's the dog's fault, and I get it, the dog's originally what got you irritated, but to me, no, you punched the car, you made your hand bleed. That's your actions getting the consequences. Like, you shouldn't have reacted that way. You should have went for the walk, like I said, instead of punching the door 4 times. And then, of course, I get mad that you punched my door. Like, I have so many dents in this car now. One from getting hit, a whole bunch from the car being punched, or the dog being thrown into it, and I'm not okay with that. And, like, it might look like I have a beat up car, like I get hit all the time. It's annoying. So again, he's gone for now. I'm at a point, and this is something I wanted to make the video about. People who are toxic in your life, it's okay to let them go. It's hard sometimes, and you have to remember it's not your responsibility. And one of the biggest things he keeps saying is that he's going to hang himself in my state. And he says it all the time. And I've tried to help him as much as I can. And he's mentally unstable in a lot of ways too. But if you refuse to get help, I can't force you to get help, and I'm not gonna call and get you put in a hospital. Like, that's not for me. I got mental issues. I would be devastated if someone did that. And he'll put that in my face, like it's my fault if something happens to him. And you know what, to all my family, if you still watch it, I don't even know if my family still watches my videos. I'm sure they don't like to very much. It's not my responsibility if something happens to him. I've had him with me for a long time. And I've tried. I've worked multiple jobs. I've supported us. I've paid rent at places for us to live. I've dealt with a lot of shit. And I keep dealing with it. I keep welcoming it back in because no one else will. No one else will. Just me. And then I'm the one that gets looked down upon. Like, it's kind of shitty. And I don't think it's okay. So, with him telling me this is why my family don't talk to me, this is why my brother won't talk to me, my other brother, who, I don't know if he watches these either, but, I get told that's why you don't talk to me either. It sucks, but it is what it is, and I'm not gonna beg anybody to be in my life. I'm too pretty for that. Inside and out. I'm a great person, and I think a lot of us are. Not all of us, obviously, there's people that aren't great, but a lot of us are great people. And if there's toxicity in your life, try your best to stay happy anyway. Try your best to keep it away from you because it's not healthy for you mentally either. It really isn't. But, I mean, pick and choose, I guess. There's not much you can do. And, I wish him the absolute best, and I want God to protect him and guide him through this journey. And you know what? I said I wouldn't rescue him again if he called me for help with the way he's acting. We all know that's a lie. I'm a giving heart, man. Like, that's just what I feel like my soul's been put down here for. To forgive, open my arms back up, and be there. But the one thing I do really find acceptable, and I hope other women and other men do not stand in my position. Someone truly does threaten to kill you, and they say they will, and they say they'll strangle you to death, or any other form of the manner of threatening your life. You should not be with that person. You should not try to help that person, because in the end, if they snap and something happens to you because you were nice and you opened your heart up to them, in the end, that's your choice to go back. And again, it's the same circumstances with dealing with the hand. You get your consequences for your actions, and your actions of forgiving and letting someone in that threatens to kill you or strangle you, and something happens to you because they already technically warned you. Now, ultimately, it's your consequences of trying to be nice, and sometimes it's easier to stay away and protect yourself. Now, I know with family it's harder, but there are circumstances where family members kill family members, where brothers lose their shit and they kill their sisters, or the other way around. And I've been in so many dark situations. I mean, my family knows the life I've lived. I don't want to put myself in that situation. Why would I do that? I've been there before. I'm 27 years old. I live out in my car. I do my tarot card readings, and I make enough to survive most of the time. Most of the time. It's hard some days. I'm back in my home state of Massachusetts, and I'm lucky enough to have a few friends that help me. Not family, friends. And a lot of those friends I've made family, because there's not many. There's like 3 or 4 people here that help me. And that's what makes it home. But it's not easy. I struggle. My mental issues are slowly getting worse. And I smile throughout the day, and I make it work. Most people can see I'm sad in my eyes, and that sucks. But I pray every day, and things are going to be okay. We got to remember that. They will. I felt like this video was more important to make than something about me bitching, something about me yelling, something about me going off about how things have been. Instead, this is a video for acknowledgement. Like my Let's Talk About Abuse videos. This is more of an acknowledgement video, and I don't know how many of you made it this far, because, I probably sound boring, but I'm trying to stay calm. Protect yourself, and protect those who protect you. If you have to protect someone who's toxic to you, keep yourself safe any way possible. And this is one of the ways I do it. I make my videos. You can keep track of my life. You guys know if I don't post within 3 days, something's probably not okay. I post every day, and if I can't, when I make a video, I'll explain that. And this also tracks where I am and what I'm doing. It's safe. Keep yourself safe. Being safe is everything. Don't let someone threaten you. It's not okay. No matter who it is. It's okay to disregard toxic people in your family, even if it hurts. Now, I'll still be here. It's cold. If he doesn't make it far and I can still get him, I'll get him. But I have to let him make his own choices too, because I'm too much of a control freak as it is. He doesn't like being controlled in my car, and who blames him? But there's reasons for it, because to me it's protecting myself, especially with some of the things that get said. So you guys stay safe. God bless you all. May you all have a very blessed day, because we all deserve it. Guys, enjoy the sun. It looks like it's coming out slowly.